A very warm welcome to this session where we are going to talk about a very, very special dowsing instrument called the Cameron Aurameter. Well, there was a very famous dowser by the name of Verne L. Cameron who lived from 1896 to 1970. And he had this uncanny ability to find the mineral deposits or water sources, and to the extent that he could also locate the enemy submarines. Now, to talk about this wonderful little instrument which he used for his own dowsing assignments, I have with me today a very, very special guest. Her name is Alicja Aratyn, and she has been the vice president of Canadian Society of Dowsers. She has devoted many decades in the field of dowsing. She hails from Poland but is currently living in Toronto. It is my pleasure, ma'am, to have you with us today.
Welcome, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here another time. And as Professor Prabal said, Aurameter is a very fascinating tool. I think it's underestimated by many, and therefore it will be my pleasure to show you how easy it is to use and how useful it can be in our work as a healers or as an environmental dowsers.
Yeah, in fact, I was always allured and enticed, and many of the other beginners are also enticed by the kind of sensitiveness this particular instrument carries. It has so many directions which it goes on to, and and there are so many other things which are there in it, which, if used properly, can be a source of immense knowledge and wisdom for the person who's dowsing. So I look forward to some wisdomful thoughts and your experiences on using the Cameron Aurameter, Miss Alicja.
Thank you. All right, so maybe without further ado, since you said about Mr. Cameron, we will just go into the Aurameter itself. Aurameter is a dowsing rod, and it's interesting from this point of view that normally, except for Leher antenna, there is no dowsing rod which can sense the energy. Majority of rods, send the energy. Majority of rods only sense the energy, which means they can give you information about location, about certain qualities, and so on, but you cannot solve the problem with dowsing rod. You can only find and define the problem. Aurameter is different because Aurameter is a rod which, if you will put something inside, and we will talk about it in a moment, it can be also a source of vibration. It is not a source of vibration by itself, but it's kind of, if we would like to compare it to pendulums, it's like you would work with a witness chamber pendulum. It has a chamber in which you can put something in order to either support your work, or you can enhance your work.
I'll just show to the viewers who are just tuned in that this is the one which you're talking about, the chamber pendulum, in which here is a chamber. This is what Alicja was referring to.
Yes. So that's the witness chamber. In Aurameter, witness chamber is here. It is in the handle. As you can see, I can put my finger there, so that the chamber is that long. All right, yes. So if you will look inside, there is a witness chamber in the handle, and then you can see at the bottom of it there is a piece of metal which is connected to the rod, and therefore it can pass the vibration from what you will put inside the witness chamber into the rod itself, and through this bullet at the end can be directed whenever you want it to be directed. Okay?
Excellent. Excellent.
Let's start with how to hold the rod, because there are different applications of this rod, but there is kind of a common thread is in a sense of holding the rod. So you always hold the rod this way that it touches your hand chakra. So you hold it like this, not like that. Okay, always like this. So you can hold it like this way, or you can hold it this way, but it always lies and connects with your hand chakra. So the energy which comes from and to will always be connected with you as an operator, because you are the force, or through you, the force which moves the rod will come through. Okay, so
Right.
that's the important part, because normally you do not hold the rod, or rod is built this way, especially when you have two, that you hold them always this way. Therefore, automatically, rod is passing through your hand chakra. Okay, this one, because it is in the group of one-handed rods, which means you don't need to have two. It does not work in pair. So you hold it this way, regardless of what you will do. If you will do something else, then you will hold it this way, but always, as I said, with your hand chakra touching the handle. Okay, at the end of the rod there is this bullet-like shape, which can be moved towards you, can be moved the other way, away from you, or can be work straight.
Right.
So depending what you will do, we will use the rod with this bullet-like shape, either towards you, facing to you, or facing against you, or being straight. If you will have, like this one is slightly loose here, so as you can see now, it is not really straight. If
Right.
I will move it, will go. Then you can work with this nail, which is here, actually screw, which is here, and you can tighten it a little. You cannot tighten it too much because you will not be able to move it, but you can adjust the tightness of it. So you are not really hopeless if you will get it too tight, or the one which you will buy, we normally check, but things can happen. Even while you're using the rod, it can be slightly too loose or slightly too stiff. Then you can simply work with the screw and adjust the tightness. All right.
Excellent.
The rod is built this way that it cannot rotate. It can only bob, which means go up and down or side to side. As you can see, there is no way, because it's attached to this piece of metal, and it goes kind of, I'm not sure if you will see it, but it goes through the metal, under it, here, straight, and it comes up on this side. Okay, that's why it is very hard. It actually is inappropriate to move or to create circular movement with Aurameter. It is meant to move only by linear movement. All right. So first of all, we will find out what is your yes. And for me, it's up and down. And what is my no? Show me no. And it's side to side. For me, it can be opposite to you. So do not try to follow my movement because yours can be different. It also depends on your gender, but mostly about the polarity of your body. Okay. However, if you will establish your yes and no, and you will check few times for yes or no, and you will and the movement will be constantly the same, then presume that that is the proper movement. So, if you will do, for example, if you will check people's aura, then I would suggest to find out first to say, show me yes and show me no. So you will know that polarity of your body is proper. If not, you just correct the polarity of your body. Okay, so because sometimes people ask those questions, why my pendulum or my rod act this way or that way. Okay.
All right, so that is excellent. Let me just summarize what you just told till now. Firstly, we discussed about holding it the correct way. So the correct way is always just to make sure that the hand chakra touches the handle of the aurameter, either like this or like this, and never to hold it like this, because in this position, the hand chakra is not in connection properly with the aurameter. Next, you did tell about the bullet and the use of the bullet. It can either be straight or it can be towards the other person. And if we are checking on the self, it can be on towards us as well. And in case it gets loose, then we do have a screw over here which can be used to tighten it up, so that you just know about all these things. That is why Miss Alicja clarified about this. Essentially, because of the very nature in which the rod has been built up, there are not rotations in the aurameter, but it works on a linear motion. That means either in this direction or in this direction. Next, you moved on to first programming the aurameter and just looking at whether what kind of movement does it give on a yes response or a no response. So you just ask it that show me a yes response and a no response, which may differ from one person to the other person. This is what we talked about till now, Miss Alicja. With your permission, I just summarized it for our viewers.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And then what we need to remember is that the rod will sense the energy from something and send this information to you, and it communicate with you through the movement of the rod. Okay.
Yeah. So you also discussed about how this is this can be compared with a chamber pendulum, because you showed that there is a chamber, which probably you will discuss a little later in our talk today.
Yes.
And discuss how this can exactly be used to transfer specific sense or send specific energies, which is normally not doable by a regular pendulum.
That's right. That's right. So let's start with Aurameter as a witness chamber rod.
All right.
Okay. Whatever you can put inside, this way that you can push it deeper so it will touch the metal. You can also transfer the vibration of this something, this substance, or this object through the rod to yourself or to other people. So, for example, I have a few things to show you. I have a gemstone, which I will put here. And because it goes to the end, I can just hold it and send it by itself. If you are not sure if it will not drop when you use something, When you will move the rod, you can put it in the Kleenex or something which is 100% cotton, so it's natural. And just simply this will tighten up your object inside the witness chamber. Oops, there is too much of it.
Yeah, we can use a little bit of cotton in case we have.
Yeah, you can use cotton. You can use the.
So we put the gemstone inside
You
the
see,
chamber.
so now it will be stuck there, and when you will use it, it will not drop down. You can also use your thumb, for example, to hold it there, or hold it like this, depending on the position of your hand. Okay, so if I would like to send to my client or to myself the energy of this gemstone which I put inside, then because it touches the metal at the end of the witness chamber, vibration of this gemstone will be from this metal part sent to the rod, spiral, and go along the rod to this, see, I have to tidy it up a little, to this bullet, and it will be sent somewhere. Okay, so if person is over there, or rather over there, and I would like to send it to this person who is present with me, then I will have the bullet straight and direct the rod toward this person. And now, as long as it bobs in my yes direction, it means it works. When it stops, or for some it will say no, if that will be your no, then it means no, it's done. Don't do this anymore. Okay?
Yes. I think this is very interesting thing. This is a very interesting application which you have showed today, because a lot of people, they keep visiting dowsers or astrologers, and they keep asking, whether this kind of a gemstone is going to suit me or not. And if somebody has an aurameter, then they can use this the way you have told and find out for themselves.
Yes, but we will use different technique to find out if it's good for you or not. Okay? Here I have, for example, 2 pieces of real eucalyptus from New Zealand when I was teaching there. It even smells eucalyptus. And I can put it inside of this. If, for example, someone has a problem with sinuses, upper respiratory system, and so on, push it in, and then I can send to this person the vibration of eucalyptus to clear the upper respiratory system.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay. I never used this technique before. Excellent.
Also, you can use actually a pendulum to put inside, but pendulum, of course, it has to be able to go inside, so you cannot put mermaid there. But then we will use only therapeutic pendulum, because those pendulums release frequencies. So you can, and if you want to tidy it up, again, we will use the witness the Kleenex, but only at the end, so to hold it, and then you will put it inside, tighten it with the Kleenex, and then you see the pendulum will touch the metal
from the inside.
Tip of the pendulum will touch the metal at the end of the witness chamber.
Okay.
And then vibration from the tip of the pendulum, in this case it will be white light, will again be passed through the rod to the person. If you want to do something with one tool, because of course you can assess the health with Aurameter, and then use the pendulum to solve the problem. But if people are fascinated with Aurameter and you want to use the same tools because they are already familiar with it and so on, then you can take the pendulum, put it inside the witness chamber, secure it with Kleenex or cotton, hold the string in your hand so you will not lose the energy through the string, and then you will send the energy to the person standing over there. Okay, excellent. So those are the methods which you can use to create Aurameter, create sender of energy or emitter out of this Aurameter. So that will be the first thing. If you will have,
and before you end the explanation, and before you end the first explanation, let me tell you that while you were explaining this, I tried to see, I tried to follow what you were saying with the lapis lazuli. It's a very important gemstone in astrology. It's called Lajbarth in the local language, and yes, in English it is called lapis lazuli, and it perfectly suits you. So emerald is not suiting you, but this is suiting you, which means the nerves are strong, but the tension is high. And to reduce the tension, lapis lazuli is something which your body needs at the present moment.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome.
So of course, not always the client is with you. Sometimes we need to work through the picture. And I just realized that I didn't take the picture of the person. So,
but I am right in front of you. Here is a person, because you have the Aurameter, so you can always work on me like this.
Yes, but I would like to put something at the front of me. Okay. So let's say that that's the picture of the person. I'm sorry. This is something else, but let's say that that's the picture of the person. And you will put it at the front of you. Because, for example, I work only through Zoom with people. So very often I ask people for their picture so I can find out something. So here we have the picture, let's say, of the person. And I would like to use this pendulum to send the energy, or lapis lazuli in your case. Okay, so you will put it inside, and in this case, you will put the end down because it has to send the energy to this person.
Great.
All right, so not anymore straight as we would do if the person would be with us, but rather down because we would like to send it to this person on the screen. Still, my hand is here. That's why I said sometimes you will hold this way. Sometimes it's easier to hold it this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Depend on the person, depend on, what is your handness, and so on. But I would hold it this way, string of the pendulum in my hand, pendulum inside the witness chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the cotton. My hand chakra is on the handle, and then I will send the energy. Or I will actually scan the body and say, show me the balance of the body. And let's say here it's not balanced. And it will pinpoint actually the point on which it is not balanced.
What do you mean by balanced?
You see, if you hold it close and I say, show me the imbalance, any form of imbalance,
okay,
then it will tap the area.
Great.
We will come back to it later on and I will show you, because this is not really the picture of the person, so we will lose the point here, but we will use it similar way on the plan of the house. So in a moment we will come back to it, okay?
Sure.
So that's how you go, and you say heal, and then the pendulum does not have to touch it anymore. So you hold it a little bit higher and you wait until it will stop to drop the energy to this point. Okay, it's like really droplets of water with every movement downward. And when it stops, then you can balance, we presume it's balanced, and we scan further, and then again, it bobs here, marks the spot, so you will drop, send the energy there. The energy of white light, because right now we put there the white light pendulum, but again, it can be your gemstone or my gemstone or eucalyptus if it's sinuses problem or whatever. So that's the first way of using the pendulum, this rod Aurameter, as a witness chamber.
There is one little question though. When we found a region which is imbalanced energetically and you wanted to balance it, did you say some command? Do we say some command? Will it be a command?
I only say heal. I only say heal.
Okay. Great application.
Because the way I understand the energy world, and as my friends from upstairs taught me, less is more. So you say as minimum as possible, going to the point, and you do not ask questions, you just use statements. So my request is, okay, this place is imbalanced, heal it.
Great.
So I say heal, and I wait until rod or pendulum will stop working, because if it stops working, it means that the spot is filled with the energy, does not require anything else, and that's why pendulum does not move anymore, because there is nothing to deliver, so it doesn't deliver anymore. And therefore you continue scanning the body, and at every spot which you will find, you stop and you say heal.
Very nice. And this is simple, and it is doable, and it is really a very nice application of
and then you leave it between the body and the sensitivity of the rod. How long and what? You don't have to find out what it needs, or maybe only red, or maybe only violet, or maybe you just say heal. And I would say, consciousness of the universe, in my vocabulary and my work, is a part which will decide what is needed, because it will read frequency by frequency, and it will choose all those frequencies which has to be sent. So what we do, we only hold this and let the universe work. Okay?
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. So that is when we use the witness chamber as a source of energy of different nature to send to your client or to yourself. I normally, when I need to do something like this, I also use my picture. I don't go and scan my body just because it's hard. Because you have to bend the body and whatever, and the energy flows differently. So it's not as precise as if you would have your own picture, black and white, put it on the table at the front of you on something black. So I always have this black small piece of fabric. Yeah. And then you scan the body, which is at the front of you, which happens to be your own body.
Why did you mention the black and white photograph, though?
Because it's a black is because white has everything, and black is absence.
Yeah.
Everything. So therefore, there is no conflict of interest, in a sense, energetically speaking. Because if the blue is needed and someone is in yellow shirt, then yellow from the shirt say, you are not passing through me.
Oh.
You are not me. I will not allow it. Sorry, there is no compatibility between you and me. But through white and black, it always will go. White because it will find its own small niche in the spectrum of white light, and in blackness, it can go because there is nothing, so nothing stops it.
Very nice.
The same reason is to put things on black background. So what you read is only what is on the page which you read from. Okay? Yes. So we finished the part about how to use Aurameter as a meter of the energy, of different type of energy, depending what you want. You can also find the compatibility. So that is the second type of usage of the Aurameter, is finding compatibility with objects, people, or whatever you want to find compatibility of. I can, and we agreed that for a moment that will be a picture of the person.
Yeah.
So in this case, the bullet will go towards you. You hold the rod, and I hold it this way. I have to lower my hand, so I want to lift it and show you how I hold it. You have to just train yourself a little bit to hold it straight. Because when people, because it's very hard to balance it at the beginning, so it will really stay straight.
Straight, right? This could be straight, or you're talking about?
No, this part and this part.
Okay.
This part goes straight above the spring.
Okay.
And the bullet is towards you, because you will compare the energy with you. Okay? Yes. So let's say that that's the person I want to marry, be with, whatever. Or it will be my employee, and I want to find out if this person will be compatible with my vision of my company. All right, I can hold the picture of this person, put the Aurameter, which way will be easier, this way probably, between the picture of this person and me. Okay?
Great.
Or you can put it actually between someone else, so you hold the rod standing from this side, okay, and there are two people here, one on the picture, one sitting on the chair. But let's say for the straightforward information right now, I will hold it between this and me, okay, and I hold it and it bobs. It is actually a picture of the product which we sell. So it shows me that it is compatible with me, because it shows the movement between this and me. It connects this with me, which means, okay, you are fine together.
Great.
All right. I took a few things. So this is heavy, but big bottle of mineral water.
Okay.
Real mineral water. And I will put it here because it's heavy. And I will put it in between me and this. And it connects me with it.
Great.
Which means, A, I can be dehydrated. And we will see on other things, because if I'm dehydrated, then any kind of fluid will be compatible with me, because I need the atoms of water which is in it, regardless of the nature of this liquid. But or I need just, or this water is compatible with me. Okay, so it connects me with it. All right. Here is coffee. I made this coffee especially for today. So here is the half a glass of water, of coffee, and I will hold it here.
After looking at the coffee made by you, I think the only next thing which internet has to progress to is the ability to send the coffee mug from there till here in the physical sense.
Yes, yes. So I will hold this coffee, and you see it says no. Don't drink it. It's not compatible with you. It's not that I cannot drink it, because of course if I want I can do whatever I wish, but it says it will not help you. I also brought a piece of chocolate. That's actually marshmallow in dark chocolate. Okay, so I will hold this, and then Aurameter again holding like this between me.
Aurameter is not meant to measure anything.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It is always
I'm so happy. It fits me. Okay, maybe I have really good appetite for it. Those are borututu are the African herbs for clearing quite a few inner organs at once.
Oh, that's nice.
And it also shows that I'm compatible with it. What can I do here? There is actually a ginger tea in this cup. It's heavy.
Yeah, it is. It is compatible.
And yes, it's compatible with me. Now, if I will take, for example, a remote control.
Okay.
With battery inside, it says no. Okay, but in the case like this, you need to say what you will do with it, because in my mind, I knew that I compare for eating this or for absorbing this.
Right.
Okay, if you do it for someone else, and you will have, let's say, this gentleman here, and you do it for your client who is a woman and wants to have a relationship with this guy, then you can say to marry him or to have offspring with him or whatever. People want to know sometimes if this guy or this provides good genes for the offspring.
On a lighter note, on a lighter note, Miss Alicia, the only problem which arises is when married couples come to you and then they ask you to check their compatibility. And my answer is that you should have done it before you got married. Now I see that you are wonderfully.
Yeah, now it's too late. Now it's too late. Yeah, well, the problem is also when, and actually, I was working once with this issue, and I couldn't solve it, and I turned those clients because there was an arranged marriage and the kids were kids. They were young children.
I see.
He was 7 or 8 and she was 5 or something. And the families agreed that they will marry. And I said, they have nothing is establishing these children. I cannot read them because they are not stable yet. Their body is not developed. So they don't have a wavelength which will lasting, permanent wavelength. They don't have color, which is personal color. They don't have anything. Everything is temporary because their organ change sizes and so on. So I cannot check it. But other than that, by all means, don't get obsessed because, I don't want to make decisions too fast based on one reading, especially for people who are not very experienced in it. So, it's interesting. By the way, to tell you a story here. Maybe it will be fun. Maybe it will be funny for some of you. I was recording my monthly video for my YouTube channel, and the title was Reading People with Pendulums. And I was showing one technique which is practically unknown here. So reading the energy which comes from the mouth, reading the energy which comes from the left eye, which means what they absorb from the world, how they observe the world, and right eye to see what they send to the world, what is the picture, what is their ideal about the world. And among other people, I took President Biden and President Trump and Luther King Jr., just to have some people who people are really familiar with.
Right. Exciting. You made it exciting.
And then 2 people said, right on, I did it, and I had the same result. One person said I had opposite result, and one person said, burn a witch. So it's interesting how we dowsers, thinking that we approach things without prejudice, all of a sudden, when someone steps on your toes, we become, very judgmental.
Right.
But
this is a very good, this is a very good technique which you have showed. In fact, I have been doing relationship healings for quite a while now. And one of the things which I do to solve this kind of a problem is I ask the question 2 times. First, I ask whether the energies are compatible between 2 people on a long term or a general basis. Then how is the relationship currently or presently between these 2 people? So if I get something like presently it is on a minus scale, -1 to 10, whatever it comes, but broadly the energies are compatible with each other, then I go forward with the healing and I tell them that yes, the relationship can be healed because it is only a temporary phenomena, probably astral, or probably somebody said something and that is why they are both incompatible these days. But if they are largely compatible with each other, I tell them, yes, I can do something about it to make sure that these present things are brought down and the bonding can be increased. And that is precisely what I have seen happens in real life as well. There are 2 brothers, they like each other, but for certain periods of time, maybe for 1 year or 2 years, they do have fights amongst themselves. So I guess this thing can be taken care if we ask some questions like, do the energy systems match on a long-term basis or on a short-term basis?
Absolutely, especially when there is negative answer.
Yeah.
it asks kind of for further research.
Right.
You know,
Wonderful.
so why the answer is no? Because there is a reason. It can be this life, it can be past lives and whatever, but there is a reason why those people are not compatible. And if both of them agree for changes, because those are adults, we have to have permission to work on them.
Unfortunately, for my past 15 years, only one party comes. Both never come. It is only one party which will approach me, and then they will ask whether something can be done to mend the broken relationship, to ease the tension between the two of them. I don't know why, but it so happened with me every time.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's our personal, also personal approach to healing and what can be done, what cannot be done. Every one of us has kind of a different limit, which the borderline, which we will not cross to invade or to go into other people's free will and choice of being who they want to be. That's right. So if they were together and something is wrong all of a sudden, then definitely some energetics took place and something happened which changed the nature of the relationship between those people. So that absolutely, the fact that something changed can be researched and can be adjusted. That's right.
Yes, absolutely. So it is a wonderful
we always try
explanation
to do the best for our clients. That's right.
Yeah. So it has been a wonderful explanation of how we can use the aurameter to check the compatibility between two
That's
things,
right.
whether they are two people or there's an object and a person involved. Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you
So
so much.
whatever you want to try, because this chocolate marshmallow in dark chocolate can be not good for me or for my health tomorrow. And it's not about being obsessed and checking everything, should I, I'm checking compatibility between this tea or this tea or this tea. You have to quit a job and just check everything what you eat. And so common sense is always advisable, but in a major thing.
Where can I buy some?
What? Common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense. Common sense.
It is very uncommonly available, so that is why if there is a destination from where we.
Yeah, because it's sold by kilograms and it's quite expensive.
Yeah, but I've heard that it is being sold on a website, Alicia Center of Wellbeing in Toronto.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's go then how we can use the Aurameter for environmental issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that someone wants to buy a house. And this is city of Mississauga in which I live. I just took it from internet. Okay, so and they say, well, I want to live in Mississauga. Let's presume everything is available to me. Let's find out which area is the most compatible with me or congruent with my energy or most beneficial for me. And again, if you ask a question like this, you need to ask your client in what sense, because it can be a house, family house, and therefore it needs to be compatible with the family to grow.
Right.
Okay. If it's for business, then it's a different story, because compatibility must be between the terrain and the nature of the business which will be there. So it will help business to grow and prosper instead of just being happy there. Yes? for
Yeah.
employee being happy. That's not the purpose of opening the business, okay? So what you do then is you would put the bullet on the other side like this. So outside, okay, you hold this like that, and you will, let me just push it a little bit this way, so I will not have to move the screen that low. Okay, and then you will basically go with the rod and say, show me the area which is the most compatible with Mr. X for his family, or to locate his house so his family will be happy, or for happy life of his whole family. And then you actually scan the map, and here is the area. Okay, so what I would do, I would have a container with some paint because it's thicker, and you would put, so you roughly remember when it was, but you would, I don't know if that would take enough paint, but I don't have very red nail polisher, because it can be also nail polisher. But basically what you would do is you would tap the top of the rod in the paint, go back on this area, and when it pinpoints, it will mark with color which exact spot it is. Okay?
Very nice.
You can find a few spots, and then you will say, show me which spot is the most compatible with this family. You go over let's say, let me do this. We will go between this point, and I will make it bigger so you will see, however, it will not be really that bigger. And you will find one here, and you will find one here, and you will find one here. It is not Mississauga because here is a border, but it showed, let's say, this area as well. And then you go, so show me the place with highest compatibility. You go over this, and let's say it doesn't move. You go over this, and it shows this movement. You go over this, and the movement is smaller, less intense. And actually this one is also intense. So you will go between highest compatibility, please. So here is movement like this, and here is movement like this. So it's not as intense as that one was. Okay, so this location 1, that's the location which we actually want to have this house at. Okay, here. Just because the movement of the rod was the strongest over this area. Okay, so let's say that the order of things is like this. You first scan the area to find all the places which would be compatible with the happy life of the family. When you will find a few on the area which you consider, then you would go over those few spots, asking to show you the spot with the highest compatibility.
Very
Which
nice.
means
And
will
so
be
many
happy
people,
here, but happier here than here.
and then
Okay, the
there are so
same
many,
is
there are so many people in Europe and Asia who relocate, and they
yes,
always have this question in their mind that what was the best country for me to relocate to? And then they go to a dowser, or they go to a astrologer, and we have a separate astrology
yes,
for this called the relocation astrology, and we have to work many things out. But with the help of a orometer or a pendulum, I think the way you have explained, the things are easy for people to follow, and then they can know about which place can suit them better and in which particular sense. uh, if you
absolutely.
want to
It
maximize,
doesn't.
if you want to
Yes,
maximize your relationships, or you want to maximize your business, whatever sense which you want to maximize, you can
yes,
download for that and get to know by using these
yeah.
practical tools what the
But the
best
good
place is.
idea is also to find it for yourself
Yeah.
and then go to someone else who has a lot bigger experience, like you said, to astrologer, and ask him, and then see if it will confirm.
Yeah, I mean, it is one and the same thing. You go to an astrologer, or you go to a dowser, or you go to whatever. I mean, but in the field of dowsing, this is a wonderful way.
Yes,
With a lot of ease and grace, you can find out things while sitting on your seat without too much of
absolutely.
mathematical complications, which get involved in the case of other arts. And you can
Yeah.
figure out exactly which place is the best suited for you.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why the Aurameter is so fantastic too.
Yes.
And then uh, you actually took different area, but you
Mm-hmm.
can enlarge this small piece.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
have it in bigger scale, and then find out where exactly. Okay. This is Toronto High Park area, which is
Right.
quite prominent area to live in. And you can find out on which street, let's say, or along which street this house should be located. Without being limiting by the fact, the blue color from the marker, I'm sorry, is on my
But you needed
is
blue
on my,
color. That is why lapis lazuli went like crazy for you. So you need
you
blue
see.
color. You need rest. You have been
Okay,
working a lot.
so now I have it. So don't be limited by, oh, this house is not available, there is no house on sale on this side of the street or whatever. It doesn't matter, because in 3 days later it can be available.
Right. It can be
So we
available
need
any moment. If you have an AK-47, if you have a machine gun, it can be available anytime. Have you ever tried that? It is outside the syllabus of
yeah,
dowsing. These terrorist organizations, they teach it how to handle a machine gun and then
yeah,
go out. I
no,
want this house at any cost because this is the best compatible, because Miss Alicia told me how to douse, and this is what I have found for myself. So you need to get out of here while I want to grab the house.
yeah, well, I'm very, very strong believers in free will and choice, so I'm not sure if I would do that, but if something is for you, it will be available.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not this month, but the next one, unless you are in extreme hurry. But we can always rent something in meantime and believe, because the universe orchestrates everything for us to have a happy life. We just have to know what we want
Excellent.
and communicate what we want. Okay, so now it's your house. Okay, let's say that you have this simple small house.
Great.
And you want to find out, let's say, because that's another way of looking for geopathic stress in your house. I'm sorry. They will pick up the phone. Yes. Okay. So what you can do is you can say, for example, show me geopathic stress or underground water vibration.
Right.
Or even better, harmful to people.
Mm-hmm.
Underground water. And then you go and it shows here. And so you mark, so you can put the tip into the paint. I will not do that, so I will just mark it that it was here. And then, so it's from here to here. And you scan further. And it's from here. I have hard time with writing with my left hand, up to here, and so on. So you go around the outer side, our outer walls of the house and our outer walls of specific rooms, kitchen, bathroom, and so on, and you will find those spots, and then you will connect them. Let's say that those are here as well, and here are another two.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we will connect probably this one with this one. If we would go through the inner rooms, then you will also have the third point in the middle to find out if it really goes like this, or this one maybe connects with this one and that one with that one, but that will give us the reading along those walls.
Right. We can always work more and mark the meanderings of the water veins and all. Very nice.
Yeah, but that's another way of, of finding, using Aurameter to find out what is the situation with any type of geopathic stress in your place.
Very nice. I think,
okay, so,
are there some applications still which are left?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Just one.
Today you have come with a bonanza of applications. I'm so glad.
So we had application of using Aurameter when the bullet was towards you to find compatibility.
Yes.
We were talking about checking things when the bullet is outside and you really work on something placed on the flat area, and you will scan them to find out the perfect location or the perfect spot or actually harmful energies. Okay,
right.
But the third is when it's straight. Okay, so when it's straight, what you do is you can find your own or other people layers of aura. And as you know, we have main 4 subtle bodies around our physical body, but we also have 7 layers of the aura of specific chakras. Okay, so from the first chakra, base chakra, of course, majority of your students, excuse me, my laptop is low. So you can use Sanskrit description of the name of the auras, but basically from base aura to the crown, base chakra to the crown chakra, you can find the layers. So to do that, you hold it like this. Let me put it a little bit higher. And then you touch your head here, and you say, show me. You have to touch your skin.
Okay.
Touch your skin in your head. Basically, it has to rest on your head.
Okay.
And then as you think, show me the first layer or the layer of the base chakra or first chakra, you also lifting it up. Oops. Oops, this is this going down here. Oh, I have to tighten it up. So it will be here. You see, it slides, which means okay, you reach the top of the first layer of the first chakra.
Okay.
And then you slide it, and then a rod shows you how to go. You are not moving the rod unless a rod will bobs down. And with your hand, you are just following the movement. You see, now it goes away, which means I have the bubble, and then it goes down. I have so it goes, in my case, like this, and then there is a bubble of energy here until here, and then it goes back toward me, but still not close to my body, but here. And it goes down, and then it goes in again, and then down. Still didn't come as close as here.
Very
When
nice.
you
Very
stand,
nice.
you can go with it to your feet and then to your side. The problem is that it's hard to do it on yourself around your body, because theoretically you should do front, side, side, and back. It's not possible to do it on yourself, but at least you can check the front, because bubbles or indentations, and indentation will manifest itself this way, that it bobs against your body like it would want to go inside, but it can't because my body restricts it. All right, so it slides over my body, and then it starts to go out and then down. All right, so
Wonderful way.
have,
When we do this pranic healing, it is a form of healing modality in which we heal all the diseases by working on the chakras of a person. And what we do normally is we try to sense the activation of the chakras with our hands, with the
absolutely,
chakra. We
yes,
also try to find the depletion of energy and the congestion of energy. Now, whenever there's a congestion
yes,
of energy, we get a bubble, and when there's a
yes,
congestion, we get a dip.
absolutely. You have indentation. Yes,
There are a
it's
lot of people,
exactly the same.
a lot
It's
of my
exactly the
students.
same idea, but there are people who say I cannot feel it.
Exactly, that is what I
It's
was
not.
thinking. A lot of my students
Yes,
have been facing from the UK. There were a bunch of my students who said that, sir, our hands, in spite of what you have taught, are not so sensitive. What to do?
yeah,
So
yes,
I
yeah.
was teaching them how to dowse with a normal pendulum. But I guess the way you have taught right now of using this particular aurameter and the way you have taught it, it just suits the
Yes,
purpose
absolutely.
100%.
Yes, yes. And when you have people present with you, like when I speak on the conferences or somewhere, I ask people to work on each other. And then when they ask each other and say, you have a bubble here like this, do you have some, let's say, unspoken words which are stuck here? Oh, yes, for example, I'm so mad with my boss, but he's my superior. Or my husband is very whatever, or my wife is very demanding, and therefore I cannot really fully open my mouth in a sense. So I rather keep my mouth shut off, and all this is here, hanging in my throat, okay? So what you can do, you can remove it with the pendulum. You can remove it with your hands if you wish. If we are talking about dowsing, so I'm referring to dowsing tools, but of course you can do it with the hands and just remove this energy from the energy field. There are many different methods how to deal with it, but at least you know that there is this bubble, right? Or that there is this indentation and you need to fill it with something because it's a leakage. I see it as a leakage of energy. So how to close this gap in the aura so it will stop leaking? Fill it, lock it, or close it, or seal it, whatever you call it, and then have it done, have it fixed.
Very nice.
And then you can go to the second chakra and third chakra and whatever, and then you will see how those chakras are working.
So again, we keep it on the head, touching our skin, and ask, where is the, show me, sorry, I did not hold it properly. Show me the aura of the edge of the aura.
The edge of the first aura of the first chakra.
First is done. Now for the second, we say again the sacral chakra. And
that's
then
right.
It will show us
so
that
you still touch your head because you have to, when you touch it, it knows your energy and it knows what it reads. It's your energy which I will read. So I go there, I'm touching here because in between her you may not see, but I'm touching here to find out how far it goes. And then I will follow the movement of this. Okay, and just remember when it was. Sometimes people have huge bubble here if they carry a lot of responsibilities, let's say. Okay, and they go for the massages because they are always very stiff here. So it does not solve the problem. It's a temporary solution, but some people decide to go for temporary solution, right? So that's about Aurameter. And as I said, the application is unlimited. You have 3 positions of the bullet at the end, and you think, because it's really very logical, which position I need to hold it toward me, against me, or straight. Do I want to use witness chamber? So I will put something here. You can put here the pill, the herbs. You can put here the ring, someone's ring, or piece of jewelry if you want to read something for this person. So it's not only a meter, it can also read like psychometry, let's say. Okay, it will read the person through the object which carries the energy of this person. Right?
That's wonderful.
But
so if we have a lost person case, we can ask for a small cloth or a small piece of a handkerchief which he or she has actively used and it has not been washed, and we can put it inside the chamber, and then on the map of a place we can try and locate that particular person.
Yes, or hair or nail, it's good that socks will not go inside, but or shoes, but
no, they can be a portion of the socks because the nail won't be available because the person is lost. But at least we can try some part, whatever we can get.
But you see, the problem is that it shouldn't be washed before, so it's questionable. But also handwriting.
Yeah, that is a very nice point.
Picture of the person, folded and put inside. Handwriting, which carries the energy of the person.
Yes.
So whatever you have.
We therefore call the handwriting of a person as a brain writing because it is so unique to a person that it is difficult. It doesn't match with the other guy.
Yeah. And the best if they will write their own name, first and last name. So at least you will know after a year from this moment who this handwriting belongs to.
Belongs to, right, right. So
Yeah,
this
because
has been,
sometimes people write something and then you don't know who is the author of this handwriting. So
exactly.
I always ask people to write their first and last name with their own hands.
Very good, very nice. So it has been really a very, very fantastic and enlightening talk today. You have touched so many aspects of using the aurameter that I think that you have touched almost everything which is very important to be touched as far as the world of dowsing with aurameter goes. You talked at length about, first of all, the various parts of the aurameter. Then you moved on how to hold the aurameter in various ways. The various parts can be twisted, and then we moved on how to use the chamber, which is right over here in our dowsing applications. We also talked about locating the problems in a person's body and how to rectify them, and also by using the photograph of a person if the person is not available himself or herself. You also touched upon how to check the compatibility between objects and people, or between two people. You also talked about on how to find whether a particular house is good or bad, the environment is good or bad for a particular life aspect of a person. Then we moved on and talked about how to check the aura and the energy centers of the body, and by following the contours of the aura, or of the various 7 layers of aura which belong to various energy centers or chakras. Also, finally, we touched upon how to find lost people or lost objects by having their trace put it in the chamber and then dowsing it on a map. This has been a really very, very enlightening session for me, as well as for anybody who will be watching this video for the years to come. I am so very grateful for your kind presence today here with us, and the sharing of your experience and knowledge with us and our viewers. I really thank you, and I look forward to such wonderful, wisdomful interactions with you in later part of the year. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And in our next meeting, we will talk about neutral pendulum and how to work with colors through the neutral pendulum. Yes?
Yes, why not? Definitely. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you very much. All the best to you.